Thank you, everyone, and welcome back to Hult Crash 2021. I want to thank you all for coming, and also I will take a few minutes to introduce our judges who thank us and glad us with their participation today. We have today as our judges to Eddie Alvarado, who is CEO and founder of Agro360, Raúl Baez, who is the partner and executive vice president of Engage, Marcos Sanchez, who is the business director of Group Agape, Eduardo Del Orbe, who is the advisor for innovation and entrepreneurship for the president office, and last but not least, Mr. Santiago Matias, Dominican radio host and producer. Welcome back again. And before starting, I want to give you the rules again. As you know, before starting, we have 4 minutes for the pitch time. Each group is going to come first at my sign, and the IT technician is going to put the presentation here. After the 4 minutes pitch, we have 4 minutes for question and answers with our judges. And at the end, we're going to have 2 minutes just for changing the groups and come to the next one. Okay, before starting, I'm going to pass the list for the groups that we have been presenting today. So we have Universidad del Este Green Change. Is it here? Okay, please raise your hand. Thank you. Instituto Tecnológico de Santo Domingo, INTEC, Our Flavor. Thanks. Instituto Tecnológico de Santo Domingo, Estera Aquaculture. Nice. Guapa, Seed Oil RD. Nice. Universidad Autónoma de Santo Domingo, Centro Regional UAS, Green Snack. Nice. And last but not least, Universidad APEC, Common Kitchen. Thank you. Let's start with the first group, Green Chain.
At 2021 in Dominican Republic, we have two current problems and realities. At first, in Agriculture Organization of the United Nations (FAO) shows that more than 52,000 tons of food is wasted each year in Dominican Republic. Most of this waste occurs in the agriculture and post-harvest phases. Our second reality is because of COVID-19. More than 60% of Dominican agriculture has faces economic losses because their products have not able to be brought to market. For our country, these two realities are serious problems that we have to face it. And this is where an efficient logistics chain could solve the current problem of Dominican agriculture and drive to the improvement of Dominican agriculture. Green chain. Green chain, a efficient logistic chain could solve the current problem of Dominican farmers. And we seek to collect and insert in the market products for agriculture first that for reason of lack of connection or the high logistic waste are eliminated, discarded, or damaged in some warehouse. Green chain allow you to create an ecosystem opportunity chains that we have. First, logistic, distribution, and positioning local of product. In this, we benefit a small farmer, local community, supermarket, restaurant, and hotels. Second, collection center incorporation of organic waste to recycling chain. And this will have a small farmer as main customer. Third, we have knowledge bank and seek. In this, we benefit marginalized community and our small farmer. This bank will impact this community from marginalized communities. Our impact budget goes hand in hand with the SDG assets. We contributing to SDG 4 and 17, local sourcing. We contributing to SDG 2, 10, and 12. And third, supply chain innovation. We contributing with SDG 8 and 9. Green Chain think the teamwork as the best way to achieve goal and create impact. So for that we have a strategy alliance. Business private sector such as Industrial Victory, Fresh Dominicana Direction, and Natural Fund. Second, public sector, National Union of Agriculture Producers and Promipyme, and Hult Price and Universidad Central del Este. To create impact and change the sad reality of our farmers in agriculture fields, we now present the Green Chain team. Jeris Mejia, Darlene Bueno, and Nieves Rosario.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Please clap your hands for Green Chain. Okay, if we have no more questions, we're going to pass now to the next group. Thank you so much again to Green Chain. Oh, and also, I must ask, please clap your hands for our judges who are giving us time today. Thank you. Now, as the second group, we have Instituto Tecnológico de Santiago del Este, INTEC, our flavor.
And we're going to present you our solution to global food crisis. Thank you very much.
Looking into this year's challenge, we fell into a rabbit hole that left us horrified. We found out that 1/3 of the food supply of the world goes to waste every year, and the Dominican Republic is no exception. It all started in the farm, where 23% of the production is lost because of static standard, followed by a 10% in shipping due to bad refrigeration and storage, and another 5% in supermarkets because of inventory rotation. Now, think about all the times we purchase more food than what we needed and have to throw it away because we let it rot. As customers, we represent the biggest percentage of food waste, and we can be tossing out up to 50% of the food we buy. All these factors represent the food waste in the supply chain. If we want to eradicate this global problem, we need to tackle all of these issues.
So, how do we do it? The solution is our flavor. We're a company dedicated to reducing food waste, supporting local farmers, reducing carbon emissions, and promoting good nutrition. So, we developed a product that is waste-proof. How do we do it? We first take the 23% of rejected foods from farmers and process it with our dry freeze technology that creates a product that doesn't need refrigeration, reduces shipping costs by 90%, has a 25-year-long shelf life with no added chemicals, and also maintains its texture, flavor, and 98% of its original nutritional value. So, our innovative idea and product is dry freeze food that will sell through two main distribution channels. First, through retailers, where we'll enter the market with our flavor snacks, which we already tested in local supermarkets, followed by our culture boxes, which is pre-selected local dry freeze ingredients that create the traditional dish in 15 minutes. We want to reach customers or people through our products that have busy lifestyles, that are looking for alternative solutions to healthy snacks, and want a sustainable product that reduces food waste. Then we have wholesale, our second channel of distribution. Dry freeze products are very attractive to organizations fighting food insecurity, such as the Innovación, an institution tasked with supplying food meals for schools all around the country. We've spoken with them, and they are very interested in using our products for their efforts. So here, there is a very attractive market opportunity, because dry freeze is a $61 billion market with an impressive 8% annual growth for the last 3 years. Not only that, they have no industry leaders with globally recognized brands. And since the COVID-19 pandemic, there has been a boom in demand for these kinds of products that we expect will continue further. So, taking all this into account, we expect that in the next 10 years, we would have sold around 4 million pounds of dry freeze food, saved up to 40 million pounds of wasted food, and made over $200 million.
For every pound of product that we sell, we will impact the life of 80 people, reaching by 2030, 100 million people globally, generated $10 million of excess income for farmers, and reduce our carbon emission. We partnered up with several organizations to reach our goal clusters, like the Ministry of Industry and Commerce, to link us to a network of local farmers, and Tech and Davy to guarantee the quality in our products. We are a team built for success, diverse both in background and expertise. Iran managed our logistics, Sabrina is in charge of the dry spirit process, Jose Javier handles everything related to marketing and sales, and I take care of the legal and representative platform.
Our flavor goes beyond the local solution. It's an impact to the global community. So, let's take our flavor to the world.
Muchísimas gracias por su participación. Voy a dejar un micrófono. I'm sorry, I just switched to Spanish. Okay, I'm gonna keep a microphone with the team.
Would you like to taste our product?
Yeah, sure. We're gonna start the question and answers very quickly. We have 4 minutes as well. I'm gonna pass the microphone to the judges. And yes, you can pass it to the judge. And if any of you have a question, it's time now.
We have pineapple and mango here.
You can go now. Okay, the first question.
Is that technology like dehydrating the food?
Yes, it's a process of dehydration.
Okay.
Sabrina is the expert.
Can you talk a little bit about the technology?
Yes, it is a dehydration process. The process is you start by cutting the food in small pieces, enter it in a dry freeze machine where it removes the water by lowering the pressure and heating it up, resulting in a dehydrated product that maintains the flavor, texture, and 98% of its nutritional value.
We have a picture of the machine that we are using currently, which is a lab machine.
Does it only work with agricultural products, or can you do anything else?
You can dehydrate other products. It is used mostly in pharmaceuticals. It is now being introduced in the food department, in the food industry.
First of all, excellent presentation. Very good job, guys.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you, if you needed to get more of these machines, will they be easy to get? Are they expensive? And can you make them, or do you need to buy it?
We're working with the assumption that we win the whole price. In that case, we will be working with industrial machines because we need higher volumes. One of these machines can cost up to $70,000 to $100,000. It has a production of around 4,000 bags of this type of thing.
Another question? Yes, you may go ahead.
I want to know if you are currently in the market and what is the investment that you need for the first 2 or 3 years?
Our initial investment to basically create a company, have an industrial scale, is around $300,000 to $350,000. That's basically the machine. The other machines, for example, that need to be for clean water, processing, packaging, and the rest is marketing, salaries, that kind of stuff. And what was the question about the market?
You are currently in the market.
We are testing it in the market. For example, we went to La Placita last week to give it to people. We were making, for example, market studies. We know that 80% of the public is open to buying it at least for the first time. And of those people who buy it, 90% like it. We made a study of around 600 to 700 people. So it's a good pool of people between the ages 18 to 65.
Okay, we have 1 last minute for questions. Okay, if that is so, thank you so much for your participation. Great presentation. Before continuing, I want to remember to the teams also that we have our timekeeper in the background to advise you and have a better fluent presentation so you can just manage your time. And to continue, now we have Instituto Tecnológico de Santo Domingo, Estera Aquaculture.
First of all, the idea of our project came from the inspiration of you cannot achieve environmental security and human development without addressing the basic issues of health and nutrition. Did you know that fish contains exactly the same protein as meat, are rich in vitamins, and exactly they are actually more benefits for your health because they have omega-3 and also acid bases. It is sad to hear that according to FAO, the fishing in the Dominican Republic has fallen about 50%, and this is due to the overfishing, pollution in their habits, and climate change. So we have a better options. Since in the Dominican Republic, the 91% of the populations consumes fish, we have seen a potential market for investors.
This is why today we present to you Estera Aquaculture, a company dedicated to production and commercialization of fish and seafood. Why seafood? This is because the traditional methods alone generate pollution. So this led us to rethink and decide to produce seafood, because this, in addition to filter the water while they grow, we can use them to generate more earnings and diversify our business. The competitive advantage of our business is the ability to generate high volume of products while keeping high quality standards. Our clients, this is because our characteristics of keeping high quality. We are an ideal solution for retailers like supermarkets, hotels, and fisheries. Our headquarters will be located in Pedernales, and our marine farms will be located in 1 or 2 miles from the coast of Pedernales. But this can easily be replaced or redone in various points in the country. Our production capability is for 300 to 400 tons per year. We're producing 1 to 1.5 tons per day, which can be traduced to 300 million pesos per year.
Right. The production we will produce is a chiro. The chiro is a species of high nutrition and carnivore, which can be sold in the 1500 fillet. This is a control calories. Production can be free, fresh or frozen. Seafood will be sold in the 1500 gram.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay, now we're gonna pass to the question and answers with the judges.
Can you mention 2 or 3 things that highly differentiate you from the current fishing practices in the Dominican Republic?
Please repeat.
If you can mention 2 or 3 things that highly differentiate you from the current fishing practices in the DR.
Okay, one is that we can produce constantly, non-stop. The production is designed for this, so we don't have high and lows. It's constant. Also, we aren't affected by the betas because we produce the products ourselves. Another question?
Very good presentation, guys. Nice work. And I wanted to ask you, your plan is are you currently raising chillo in cages, right?
Mm.
So, and you do the whole reproduction process, or do you have to buy the little fish?
For a start, we have 2 options. One is to buy the alevines so we can start to reproduce them and be self-sufficient. Other option is to pay local fishermen to catch them alive, and we can reproduce them.
What is the specific food challenge you are trying to solve?
We found out that in the Dominican Republic, actually, the consume that is satisfied by locally is 16%. So the other 84% we have to import. This is a market from like $126 billion. $1 million, sorry.
Any other questions?
I want to rephrase the question of the gentleman that just that was before me. We see clearly that you have good potential talking about economics. We see it, but about social impact, what is the social impact that you believe that you are doing through this type of racing in cages? Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. These projects are mainly can be implemented in coastal zones that are mainly rural. So we will be developing the economic and the social status of the communities that we work on or we work with.
Thank you so much, Mr. Agriculture. Okay, if it's okay, I will leave the microphone there so the judges can use it. If you need another one, I will be assisting you. Now we're going to receive Universidad Autónoma de Santo Domingo, Centro Regional UAS, Green Snacks. Okay, again the rules. We have 4 minutes for your presentation. The stage is yours.
Good morning. Before I start, I have been practicing the whole day with this class, and it hasn't been comfortable. Can I take it? Get up? Thank you. Okay, so we are Team RJ. We're going to present green snacks. Okay, so what's the problem that we are trying to tackle here? Okay, the problem is that the food industry, as Madagascar said, is mostly based on profit, and that's obvious because capitalism is based on that. It's about making work for someone else, about bringing goods and services, and people pay for that. But right now, it's so focused on profit that it's not taken on really tackling the purpose of delivering a good that it's going to really commit its purpose of being a good itself. So, in the case of food is not really being what it was meant to be for people, a vehicle of health. Right now, it's being a cause of disease of many people and a cause of many people spending a lot of money at the hospital, and just it's not really going to the same way that it was supposed to go. So the problem that we are going to tackle here is that there's people that have special needs for their food. For example, there's people that they have diabetes. There are certain food that they can't eat. For example, there's people that they cannot eat certain food because of a religion, or they cannot eat certain food because of a medical condition. So that people have a real need of food being a good in their lives. And there's people who usually don't have the time to cook food or do groceries, and sometimes they're really interested in still going for some healthy food, but they can't, because most of the food that is being offered are food that are harmful for your health. So that food is costing people more than a healthy diet in terms of money spent to disease. People with specific requirements for their food, like people that have allergies, they may have a difficult time to get a reliable place to get their food that they need daily, taking in consideration their specific needs. But people with health problems and food restrictions can't take all type of food because eating certain things can cause serious problems to these people. Our solution is to offer the best possible healthy food for our customers and deliver food for people with special needs. We will offer food that is backed to be healthy by professionals and research on nutritional science. We will offer food plans for people based on their requirements, which will be determined by nutrition professionals and other health experts that will work with us to deliver people the best food for our customers. But our customers will go through studies with their nutrition professionals and will gain access to other food based on their needs. We will have their information at our database. Customers will be able to contract food plans categorized on daily, weekly, monthly, or permanent food plans so they can keep getting the food they need to stay healthy. We will also offer healthy food and drinks at our restaurant for the public in general. But the main idea that we want to tackle is people who need the food for specific reasons, and we want to get that people what they need. We will make the most of our materials and operations environmental friendly using biodegradable materials, eco-friendly delivery transportation, and other eco-friendly actions. Our target market are people who prefer to buy cooked food due to time limitations but want to eat healthy, people with special diets due to their health conditions, people with food restrictions for any reason, athletes, vegans, vegetarians, and more. Our competence obviously are all the food business, but what we are offering is exactly.
Can you mention some samples of the food you will be offering and how you will be producing it?
Okay, some samples of food that we'll be producing is actually food that you can eat at your home and you can find in the farm. But the crucial thing is not just how to get the food they're producing, is to get the right food with the right nutrition and that tackles the right needs for the people. Because if they don't get what they need, some people in some health conditions might get worse.
All the sellers of snacks in the world say that they're healthy. So how can you actually guarantee that your snacks are healthy and not just a marketing or advertising slogan like all the rest say? Because nobody goes out and says, my snacks aren't healthy. So how are you really going to prove to your customers or to clients or to the general public that your snacks are healthy?
Given a proven way, I don't think it will be the best possible, but we will be research based and we will have professionals of nutrition that will take on the task of actually making a good diet for people. But it's not just about snacks, it's about food in itself. I mean, you can have carrot for snacks if you have it as snacks. The worry is mostly a general idea, but it's not backed by the traditional snacks idea.
So is the business identifying what you need to eat and making the recommendations, or is the business selling the food?
The business is getting to know what really people need based on their needs. Like if you get a dietist to analyze your biometrical data to see, for example, like how your telomeres are doing, that are a vital sign of longevity.
Are you gonna have doctors doing that? Right, and nutritionists doing that? Is that part of the business model?
I have not included that part of the sketch, but that's a good example of something that could be done. But all the biometrical data that we collect from people can have a really good impact with the food that we provide them.
Thank you so much for your participation again.
Thanks for your time.
Okay, great. These participations have been awesome. We just saw green snacks. Okay, now if it's ready, may we have Universidad APEC Common Kitchen? Come to the stage, please.
I wonder if there's any way to know what I can make with all ingredients I have available. Now, this is not my only story. I also remember spending several minutes looking at my grocery list and checking which aisle was what I was looking for. So, here we are a few months later, facing these needs and many more. First, we want to create a high-tech solution where you can put all the ingredients you have, dietary restrictions, preference, allergies, etc. And with the use of big data and your camera, it will be able to plan menus and even diets according to your stock, budget, preferences, and needs. In case you want to go to the supermarket physically, once there, the app will guide you through the aisle in an easy and efficient route, as well as, for example, providing useful data like similar products, price trends, or seasonality compared to other supermarkets. And even tell you, based on community opinions, the quality of each particular type of food in that establishment. So, we already know how ads get value, but what about the supermarkets or the farmers? We will provide them information to manage their inventory more efficiently, knows what the community asks for or recommends improving, develop specific offers to each customer, and increase inventory turnover. And for farmers, they will know their customers better and be able to better meet their needs. I'd like you to check out this bar chart. Here we can see how much food is weighed by country per people in the 2017 year. Let's take a 16 kilograms per capita in the US retail sector. If inventories were better managed and demand was known, couldn't this number be reduced? Okay, but who are these guys? Let me introduce ourselves. This is Abdiel, computer science, Andy, system engineer, also a cooking enthusiast, Diego, software engineer, and me, business. As you can see, we're a solid team with very good relationship with each other, and we're willing to do whatever it takes to put this application on everyone's phone. So, what do we need? Where do we follow? We need experience, advice, feedback, and constructive criticism. Even though we care about the profitability of our solution, we also focus on several ODS like sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, industry, innovation and infrastructure, and zero hunger. Because regardless of the tool we develop and the validations we get, our vision is clear: to make life easier for the stakeholders of the supermarket shopping process. Sabdiel?
Right now we are working on a functional prototype after a long process of UI, UX design, research, and client validation. Lastly, I want you to please check some extra features we have been working on, like the tutorial tab, how you see a recipe, how you similar recipe, the profile, and the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Excuse me, before you ask the question, could I ask one question? All my team doesn't speak Spanish, so if the question could, well, not the question, the answer could be in Spanish. Spanish. Oh.
They don't speak
Yeah, my team doesn't speak Spanish. Español. Oh, English.
¿Español o inglés?
Español.
Ok. Van a tener que vivir de algo cuando tengan la aplicación. Normalmente es publicidad, suponiendo. ¿Cómo van a hacer ustedes o van a garantizar que los productos que ustedes me recomienden a mí, si yo bajo el app, me recomienden a mí, son saludables, son los que me convienen y no los de la marca que les está pagando a ustedes publicidad?
En ese caso, lo que haríamos sería contactar con nutriólogos y personas encargadas en el área que nos aseguren a nosotros que esos ingredientes o esos productos que estás comprando son realmente saludables y no realmente nos estaríamos vendiendo a la marca.
O sea, ¿ustedes estarían dispuestos a decirle a una persona, a un patrocinador o a alguien que les quiere comprar publicidad? ¿Ustedes estarían dispuestos como marca a decirle no podemos anunciar tu marca porque no es saludable?
caso, creo que hablo por todos nosotros, que realmente si nosotros consideramos que un producto no es realmente saludable y que le va a hacer daño al usuario, no lo recomendaríamos.
Gracias, buenos días. ¿Cómo las personas ingresarían a la aplicación? Los datos, ¿cómo se manejarían? El nivel de seguridad, porque tengo conocimiento de que hay algunas aplicaciones de este tipo que le dan prioridad a algunas marcas y ya eso viene siendo competencia desleal. ¿Cómo sería esa parte de la seguridad y del compromiso ético de una competencia justa a nivel de los productos que se recomendarían en la plataforma?
En ese caso, nosotros optaríamos por, como dijo mi compañero, el uso de Big Data. En ese caso, veríamos cuál sería el más comprado, cuál sería el más recomendado por las personas del sector de salud. Y en cuanto a esa área...
I'm sorry, excuse me. I'm so sorry that I was outside, but we do need the students to always speak English. That's really important. That's not political. I'm sorry I wasn't there. They can ask the question. If that is they're comfortable, that's not
Gracias. Tú estás hablando de un tercero que recomienda. ¿Por qué no los mismos usuarios de la aplicación, luego de tener una experiencia positiva con los productos, porque no estamos ahí básicamente alentando de un tercero? El problema es el tercero. El problema de este tipo de aplicaciones es la data del uso y de que un tercero sea quien recomiende por encima de otros productos que también podrían tener calidad y también podrían ser de beneficio para los usuarios de la aplicación.
Okay, the response to that question is, I have a point system in the app to recommend products to the people. In this screen, you can see the receipt have stars to point it to see best the receipt about this. For example, in this example is the hamburger. You can see this receipt is point by 4.7. In this case, to products, this is the same system we use to point.
Our judges for being here today. Thank you so much for taking some time to be here. And we want to also thank everybody who's participating, because this is something that we really need in the world right now. So, before we get started, let me remind you of the rules. Every team is going to have 4 minutes to do your pitch presentation. It should be in English, guys, okay? I know it's difficult, but try your best to keep it in English, okay? You only have 4 minutes. Use your time wisely. Then after that, the judges are going to have 4 minutes for Q&A, right? For asking questions. Then we're gonna go with the next team. Well, that's it. Let's get started. I want to make sure that all our groups participating today are here right now. The first one we have is from Universidad Iberoamericana, and the startup name is Symphonics, right? Good. Then from Pontificia Universidad Católica Madre y Maestra, we have Conuco Transporte. Very good. Then from Intec, we have Control A.
Present.
From Unive, Todo Simbiosis. Well, that's symbiosis. Okay. Thanks. From Barma Management School, very brevely. All right, thank you. From Universidad Nacional Pedro Enriquez Ureña Seeds Community.
Present.
All right, and from WAPA Connect B. Is that correct? All right. Once again, we want to thank our judges, George Nader. He's the CEO from Nader Enterprises. Thank you for being here today. Ana Maria Peralta, who is the Monitoring and Evolution Director in the Department of Agriculture. We have Julina Staffel, Executive Producer, Executive Director, the Director, sorry, thank you. From the Food Bank of the Dominican Republic. Axel Ache, General Manager in Construction Company Ginaca. And Roberto Cavada, who we all know is a television producer in Telesistema. And finally, Manuel Peinado, who is the Managing Director of Grupo Agape. Thank you. Let's get started. So we're going to start with Universidad Iberoamericana, Symphonics.
This is Emily. Emily is a Dominican single mom and hard-working fisherwoman that works to provide her 3 kids. In Emily's house, they only get incomes from Emily's productions, but they seem unstable because of the people that now are worrying about the quality and the source of their food. But what if Emily and the 1 million of Dominicans that share her situation could have stable jobs and incomes? For those people, Symphonics was born. Symphonics is a company that sells aquaponic systems using a symbiotic and a sustainable system, and we are going to be producing fish and vegetables. While using this, we realized that our fish and vegetables will be helping a lot our community, and also we'll be using biodigesters. Why biodigesters? Because biodigesters are going to help us with the electric energy. Electric energy here in the Dominican Republic is expensive and it's not affordable. And this is the main reason why we have decided to use biodigesters, and this is what differentiates us from the other companies. The problem that I already said, that the biodigesters, we're going to be putting them in our farmlands.
Alright, how will we achieve this? First, well, we will use our 3-phase business model. First, incentivizing local market. We will acquire our farmland in which we will have 5 tanks and 10 tanks systems as selling options. Then we will open our first selling point, and then we will install Symphonics aquaponics system to increase our product exposure. In our second phase, growth, we will increase our sales options and we will open our second selling point. And in our third phase, expansion, we will consider national and international alliances as well as expansion to Caribbean and Latin American countries that share our conditions. Our production is characterized by its free of chemical and fertilizers nature. It saves up to 90% of the total water used during the production. It is free of toxic residues. It saves energy, but most importantly, you can produce throughout the whole year and in both rural and urban areas. Our marketing plan is focused on raising awareness. We will reach our consumers through social media, through trade shows, and through product exposure, being this way part of the increasing trend of healthy consumption. With one system of 5 tanks, 415 kids or 100 families can now have access to organic food, decreasing this way health issues related to diabetes, hypertension, malnutrition, obesity, or dyslipidemias, which are very common here and in other Latin American countries. One unemployed parent can now have a job, increasing incomes for his family or her family. And 300 kilograms of fertilizer will be extracted daily from the biodigesters, increasing the productivity and the quality of local farmers. Our sales Our income sources are three. We will get incomes from selling and installing aquaponic systems, from selling the land where the systems will be at, and the 20% of the production.
Explain a little bit the finances, please. How you're gonna sell land and sell and install systems.
All right, yeah. So basically, most people don't have land to start their aquaponic production. So our plan is to buy a big initial land. So we will offer people the opportunity to have their systems within our land. We will sell them part of the land. We will sell for each square meter. We will buy each square meter at $5.25 and sell it at $8. And that is how we will get incomes from selling parts of the land. We will also get incomes from selling and installing the aquaponic systems. And third, for the 20% of the production that these people that is here is producing.
Hi. Do you know how much approximately the initial investment is going to be for phase one?
Yeah, we need for our first phase an injection of $122,000. So we can buy the land and all the needed materials to get the farm accomplished.
And how many tanks in that initial investment are you planning to install?
We want to have 40 tanks.
Where are you going to source out the tanks? Locally, or you're going to import the tanks?
That's a very good question. Thank you for it. For the small tanks, 5 system tanks, we already have our local provider. But for the bigger tanks, which they do not make here, we plan to import them. We understand this can be expensive, but our plan is to import as many as possible, so the importation price is less for each individual buyer.
Ladies and gentlemen of the judge panel, we're very grateful for being here. My name is Miguel Carmona, and together with Angela Arbay, Jose Vladimir Garcia, and Luis Lopez, we will present to you our business idea, Conuco Transporte. Because before we begin, it is important to offer a little bit of context. Initially, our project links the province of San Juan and the poverty that overwhelms it. Unfortunately, the incidence of poverty in San Juan is quite high. According to data obtained from the ONEC, nearly 69.9% of the population is considered poor. San Juan is mostly an agricultural province. In reality, the agricultural sector is very important for the livelihoods of millions of Dominicans. According to the data obtained from the Ministry of Agriculture, almost 90% of all the agricultural products consumed are local. After we have analyzed all this, we are faced with the following problem: the negative externality produced by pollution and the inefficiency of the food chain distribution. Therefore, our goal as a company is to associate small-sized producers with consumers. As we have been able to demonstrate, our project is oriented towards the Sustainable Development Goals, especially, and particularly goals number 1, 2, 3, 7, and 13. So the big question is how we will do it. First, we will manage the connections between the small-sized producers with buyers. For this, we're going to collect the productions of these small-sized producers, and we will take it to our distribution center. On the other hand, we have the mechanisms we're going to use in order to achieve our goal. First, we're going to build a distribution center in the community of Las Matas de Farfán, and then we will acquire electric cargo vehicles in order to offer the transportation services to the local producers. In relation to the gross profit margin, we determined the price of the single trip by calculating the cost of the kilowatt in our country, the maximum capacity of a battery of a BYD T11 that is an electric cargo vehicle, and its maximum charge. In a preliminary way, the price of a single trip will be 2,894 pesos. The cost of this single trip will be 1,629 pesos, and the difference of this will give us a profit margin per trip of 1,265 pesos. On a different note, consumers will benefit from us by providing them a higher quality of food at a lower cost. This surplus of money will help them to improve their quality of life. And next, we have our target customer segment. We are targeting people in San Juan and its neighboring communities between the ages of 16 and 65 years old. We're looking for mid or and small-size farmers, women with the ability to make purchasing decisions at home or at their businesses, or housewives. Finally, we have our action plan. Since our idea involves a lot of logistics, we know that initially we need to identify the small local producers in the area. We need to acquire our distribution center. We need to buy and build our cold room. And finally, we need to acquire the electric cargo vehicles. Thank you for your time.
And I know that the transportation from Vallejuelo to Santo Domingo is the limit that the producers from there have, but I'm not sure about the investment and how do you recover that in the time.
We know that initially our plan involves a higher level of investment, but because of this, we plan to start our business by phases. We don't necessarily need to begin with our electric cargo vehicles. We can start with small diesel cargo vehicles, and in relation to the length of the distance from this province, this community to Santo Domingo, we're not necessarily planning to begin selling to making clients with the biggest supermarkets. We are planning initially to create a type of connections with markets of different important communities of other provinces. So at the end, we can not only perform better the productivity of San Juan, Las Matas de Farfán and Vallejuelo, but also of the region. So it's like a type of regional community that we're planning.
Is your profit only coming from transportation, or you're also thinking of charging for storage or any other income area apart from just the transportation itself?
Yes, we are not only charging because to our transportation services, we're also charging for the storage. We know that the type of storage difference, there's a different type of storage depending of the product. So we are taking in considerations the technicalities of those type of cold rooms. So yes, there's two types of charges.
Okay.
If you are working together, how is the participation of every one of you?
Yeah, the thing is that we understand that the more efficient form to complete the limit time that we have, is to just set one person to speak. Because if we try to all set one part of the presentation, it's very probable that we didn't end at the 4 minute.
What are you doing in the creation of the company?
We have the plan, we have the theoretical plan, but it's very difficult to start because of the high investment. We understand that we need to create a pilot first.
And the others one?
Yeah, we are all working together. We are be together working every part of the program, and as Jose said, we prefer or choose as a team that only one person answers the question, so we can use the time more efficiently.
I know you are all too young to remember, but my grandfather wasn't. He used to tell me stories from his childhood. Born in Italy in 1937, he was just 6 years old when the Allies
to cover the country. Not only did he fear for his and his mother's life, but also didn't know when would be the next meal they could have, while standing for hours in line, hoping to be fortunate enough to get a ration. Now, 8 decades later, there are millions of people who ask the same questions without a major problem. The supply chains are getting longer and the market being more demanding with 2 specific standards. Therefore, the product is being thrown away if these standards are not met.
That's how we can know we control A. Creating an integrated system where low-income and consumers are able to receive periodically a bus with high-quality agricultural product at a fraction of the price. Be a subscription plan in which family can subscribe for a minimal monthly amount and receive their food to the nearest center Control A certified. Those are mostly church and community centers in the region who will be received the order in order for them to supply to the customer for a commission of 5% of every subscription. But how can we guarantee a continued food subscription price for the customer in such a highly volatile industry? The answer falls into 2 parts: farmers' alert system and supply chain. The usual process in which a carrot ends up in the supermarket is extremely complex. Not only does it pass through many wholesalers and retailers before ending up in the supermarket, but it also has to meet extremely specific standards, such as weight, shapes, or color. Control A is the only intermediary between the farmers and consumers, reducing handling costs by 1/3. And with the farmers' alert system, farmers will be able to notify Control A of product of high quality that they will not be able to do overproduction or no standard meat product.
Creating a more secure production environment for farmers. Therefore, not only creating hundreds of direct jobs, but also helping to preserve hundreds of thousands indirect jobs that are lost every year due to farming cutoffs. Our initial investment for our plan piloto in Constanza will be $76,000. It includes company constitution, web development, advertising, funds for operations, and logistic costs. You'll be able to choose between 2 subscription plans. Plan A, there is 15 pounds. It costs $19.98, and the second plan, Plan B, costs $37. It's of 30 pounds. According to the lowest expected growth rate, we'll get the money back in 2 years. So we're going to reinvest that money to make our project grow.
Creating a sustainable chain for agricultural products is not only necessary, but it's important. Thank you.
Don't be like Ace Grobbenfeller. Don't let them standing in line.
Okay, thank you guys. Now we have 4 minutes for the Q&A with the judges, so we can start right away.
Those pictures that you had there, that's part of your research, and do you already have these producers identified and your clients?
We already have 5 producers with whom we signed a contract of compromise for working with us. That was in Constanza while we were doing the research, while 2 trips we took there to start the business.
What kind of volume and how many pounds are you expecting to get per year and sell to reach that investment payback?
It depends on how the consumers accept it. We want to start right now in La Caleta with 1 central certificate, and we're expecting to grow about 4 to 6 per month in different parts in the region, and then expand to the country. couldn't end up at, I don't know, 50 tons a year.
Have you selected the product that you are going to sell, and what was the criteria that you used to select those products to sell?
We will have inspectors that see firsthand by pictures the products that the farmer is offering. So we can, without going there, see the products that he wants to sell us. Then later when we're negotiating, we are gonna, and buy the merchandise, we're gonna inspect every quintal that we are gonna receive to ensure that they are met with the higher standards.
So what is the marketing strategy that you will use to sell your products?
Networking by hand. As the potential clientele is low income, networking in social media won't be util. What we're gonna do is, with those community centers that we're gonna certify, we're gonna help them as they receive a 5% of income of the subscriptions. They're gonna be incentivized to grow the people that are subscribed, and then we're gonna have people that are going to locate new centers to integrate the community and grow the subscription packages.
So there is a kind of association with you?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we have time for one more question.
We also have a coding QR. If you want more information, you can see it. Is there any questions? We're here for you. Thank you.
Okay, guys, before we continue, remember, you have to point directly to the projector, right? We're going to continue from, let me check here, Unive, that symbiosis, right? Thank you. Come on, guys.
Hi, my name is Indira, and our project is named Good Symbiosis. This is our crew. My team is not here. That's me, Indira Celeste, Indira Piña, Christopher Sanchez, and Samantha Lozada. So the problem statement is that in the world the issue of hunger constitutes one of the fundamental problems that has not yet achieved accurate and effective solutions. This is one of the most important concerns of today's governments. We will try to propose a stable, viable, and feasible solution focused on the elimination of any storm or malnutrition, hunger, or lack of resources or tools that make it difficult or impossible to eat varied and healthy. Good Symbiosis is a company that does not grow large tracts of monoculture or polyculture, but will work with a network of 300 lands of small local suppliers, producers in agroforestry plots. 50,700 meters minimum for each local supplier, with regenerative agriculture and regenerative agroforestry in design. We thought it could be a great idea to locate it in Montecristi or Salcedo and Bauruco. In the field of products, organic compost is one of our approaches. We will also offer a wide variety of plant-based foods of high nutritional value. In the inspection phase, we will be adding to our products chicken raised with free grazing and fish raised with fish farming, to offer animal proteins of the highest possible biological value. It is aimed at the general public through its own stores and external distributors, only hotels and restaurants that seek to satisfy the concerns or problems of the end consumer with our products. And in the expansion phase, to international clients and state social plans. So, traditional agriculture is our competition, and producers of processed food is another competition. Our business model, applying regenerative agriculture and regenerative agroforestry in the design allows us to offer crops and products without agrochemicals, cleaner, healthier, and in ecological balance with the environment through supermarkets, hotels, and restaurants. Similar success stories. Arroz Blanquito is an example of a company that has learned from sustainability development. This company is located in southern Colombia, in the municipality of Yamundi, of the outskirts of Cali. It is a large family business with sales in the national market and in export markets. As the right company, it has achieved differential practices with environment and social benefits, and works with a network of almost 700 small suppliers located in Cauca and Nariño. Investment and financing. So this is our estimations. A small irrigation system, 16,500, organic fertilizer composter. This is based on 50 local suppliers with 50,700 minimum meters. Okay.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now we have 4 minutes for the Q&A. Let's go.
Go ahead.
What and how are you going to sell this? What are you selling?
We are selling food. We cultivate food. See, different food. O sea, banana, pineapple, lettuce, etc. Combinations, because regenerative agriculture is a type of agriculture that combines the food so the ground maintains the nutrients, and it's a polyculture system. It's not traditional agriculture.
But you're going to sell the process or the product?
We're going to make an association we plan it will be 300 local suppliers in the country, because we thought to be here in Dominican Republic. So 300 local suppliers that will let us use their land. So, and we will give them the materials, the supplement, the transportation, the clients, and they will have a percent of what we sell, of the food sold. Sorry.
How do you pretend to impact the food insecurity?
Well, today we see that, decades ago, when the agriculture didn't use all these chemicals, food were more healthy. Nowadays we see that because of all these chemicals, including in the organic agriculture, the food still have that problem that doesn't accomplish the nutritional levels that we require. So we do it with the regenerative agriculture, we can afford the nutritional requirements that human needs nowadays. What else? I guess you have a question. No? Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, guys, I was informed, my mistake, that you're not supposed to point here. You're supposed to point to the computer guy. Alright, so there you go. We're going to continue with, we have Barna Management School, and the project is Very Verde. Is that correct?
Yes.
Right, let's go.
Mother and wife of agriculturists kept asking us while watching her husband work on the fields alone. What can I do? Is what Chino, her 21-year-old son, said as he was leaving the community looking for better opportunities. 9 out of 10 of the 570 million farms in the world are managed by families. This while yet living with $5 a day because they have no access to distribution, no connections, and well-paying markets. Yet, they have to take out with a middleman payment. Meanwhile, in the city, the families are additionally spending $100 in gas due to traffic jams alone. These busy families are neglecting their diet while they are opting for less nutritious food.
Veri Verde connects families. We are providing distribution, logistics, and commercialization to family farmers, while offering a monthly subscription service of healthy, nutritious, and innocuous products, while also facilitating compost to urban families. Hence, adding value to the supply chains and disposal of products. This way, we are turning these processes into a circular economy.
The first market we're pursuing is the capital city of Santo Domingo. According to official statistics, it is home to 1.2 million people, distributed into 400,000 households. 64% of these fall within our target market, and by reaching to only 1% of them, we have the potential to impact the lives of 400 agricultural families.
Veri Verde promises same-day packaging and delivery, transport in insulated reusable bags, timely supply chain audits, effective waste management, and a reduction in chemical fertilizers. These processes ensure that every Veri Verde bag delivers fresh, quality produce to our clients and income security to the most vulnerable in the supply chain. The two aspects for success are distribution and strategic partnerships. Clients select their preferred option on our website. These orders are then packaged by our family farmers. Our distributors then transfer the produce bags to our clients and the organic waste to our family farmers.
As our strategic partners, we have Agricultura Familiar, a government program designed to train and support family farmers in expressive poverty. As of today, we have located 78 family farmers in the Monte Plata area.
Our revenue model consists of a setup fee from the sale of our compost trash bin and a monthly subscription. Due to our no capex model, which allows for easier growth, our business is scalable, expandable, and easy to adapt to new markets both locally and internationally, impacting the life of tens of thousands of farmers at a time. For every one job created in agriculture, 3 jobs are created in other sectors of the economy. And for every $1 invested has a multiplier effect of $1.8. With our model, family farmers will be earning $20 a month, which is a 300% increase in the current income.
Veri Verde offers nutrition, convention, and environmental impact. With this, we're producing fair income and sustainable work for our family farmers. So people like Jack and Chino know what to do. Veri Verde. Gracias.
Thank you.
Hi. How are you planning to expand your circular economy across starting with the country and then going international?
Okay, so basically our no capex model means that we don't have actives. Like fixed actives. So
But capex, it's that. I mean, capex is the money you spend to maintain your assets.
Yeah, we don't have fixed assets, meaning that we are outsourcing distribution and the composting, the collection center. So this means that we can take our model and transport it to Santiago because if we have the network of agriculturists, and then we can take our model and transport it to different international markets with only a network of agriculturists.
But your warehouses are yours.
No, we don't have. We are renting a space in our Edición, which has a compost facility there, and they have provided us with the space to collect their compost.
Okay.
The global food commerce has more time, doubled since 1995, reaching 1.5 trillion. And the food demand for food in the world is expected to increase by at least 20% over the next 15 years. So, what is the problem? $1.3 billion tons a year of food is wasted or lost in production. Number of hungry people by region: 500 million in Asia, 200 million in Africa, and 42 million in Latin America and the Caribbean.
So, if the producer has a problem, the consumer will have a problem. So the main consequences are the lost resources, lack of information for update market price, lack to access the transportation services for cross, very weak financial management, and estimation of cost expenses incurred in a certain production. In fact, we have identified more than 15 problems. What is the C community? If you listen C community, only think in food commerce, education, assistances, and ROI. C community is a digital platform that we provide farmers with the necessary tool to determine the cost and expenses incurred in their production so they price information, supply, and demand. Next.
Any financial data on your side?
The estimated innovation is $2,200,000, and the Dominican peso is 1.3 million.
From WAPA, we have the startup Connect B.
Behind the suction machine, it is about the creation of a tool with an efficient technological advance capable of suction the honey directly from the honeycomb, and which in turn helps to preserve the most impact living being on the planet. The machine will be made of stainless steel. It will have another hexagonal shape design on the tips to be able to insert into the perfect cell of the honeycomb with ease and to suck the honey. Its operation will be similar to that of suction machine used by dentists. It is estimated that the machine will have the capacity to extract at least 1,000 milliliters by suction. This if it is manual. In case of being industrial, it will be more an endless time. And this will guarantee the care of the bees, the maximum performance when collecting the honey, and will keep the honeycomb in perfect condition. And the goal is efficient production and collection of honey from bees. The impact, we will create a new culture by including this nutrition and complete food in our daily life for a healthy lifestyle. It is an easily digestible food and contain healing properties. This works as preventive medicine. Caring for bees means safeguarding our species, flora, fauna, and with it, human life. The problem, pueden verlo en la imagen, but the main problem is the threat posed to our pollinators by the honey harvesting process. Hundreds of them die. The low production of honey in many countries causes inflation, which makes it impossible to obtain it. The malnutrition that exists worldwide due to the lack of consumption of the nutrition food. The solution, eradicate hunger.
A super plan will be implemented to donate breast file with honey to children for the most impoverished school and the people with limited resources to combat malnutrition to more people in the world. The honey is the only food that does not rot. The activity we will create a piece within the multiflora trees will be planted, which will guarantee the feeding of the bees to the produce more honey, honey packing machine, and bakeries. The differential advantage, currently this tool does not exist to company use for this purpose, which guarantees that the market is only ours. We will be pioneers in the market with the creation of the innovative resource.
Thank you very much. Okay, guys. Now we have 4 minutes for the Q&A. So, do you have any questions, judges?
I believe it's a good idea that you have. Have you designed already the extraction machine or concept of your business?
I have an idea, only idea.
You have design. You don't have a design or of the machine or the concept that you wanna how to extract.
I'm sorry.
They can ask in Spanish.
O sea, yo te pregunto si tú tienes ya diseñado en papel o en tu cabeza el equipo de cómo
Exactamente cómo va a funcionar. It's exactly for your function.
Okay, and it doesn't exist anywhere, any other world, place in the world?
No.
Okay, thank you.
La observación que te hice en el mentorship es básicamente que trates de buscar un poquito de información a nivel de presupuesto, la inversión que requeriría esa maquinaria y asimismo que te ayudes con un poquito de transferencia de conocimientos de otros países donde esa máquina esté quizás implementada o ya esté desarrollada de una u otra forma. Muy buena idea también.
Gracias.
It is a good idea, as the judge, but it needs more the conceptualization of the operation of the machine and also the financial cost of this. But it has a lot of potential.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Do you have time? No? No. Okay, now we had some problems, some technical problems with one of the groups in the previous pitching, right? So we have one of them that are going to do their pitching now for you. We want to apologize. I know we said it was only going to be these people that we have seen, but let's check this one, please. They are from WAPA, and the name of their startup is Seed Oil RD. All right, remember, guys, you have 4 minutes, and remember that if the judges feel like they can ask you the questions in Spanish, but you have to answer in English, okay? Thank you.
My name is Juan Alcántara, and she is Maria Liz Mendes. And basically, what we have an objection is the objective of our startup. It is in regards the 40% of the people, especially monoparental women that are not having a job. So what we are going to be doing with this social initiative, we seek to create the source of employment in a vulnerable segment of the population, pointing to single mothers with low academic qualifications, and while taking advantage of all the resources to invest in the formal education of their children and relatives, to the use of the seeds we will create the product and extracting the oils. What we're going to be doing is socially talking. We're going to be impacting, especially to single parents households, specifically marriages, which are households managed by women. And we're going to be basically doing recycle of the seeds, getting in touch with supermarkets and any all available places that are selling the fruits. And we're going to be doing this process to monitor the impact of our social initiative. We will use the database of the National Statistics Office, the one, la Oficina Nacional de Estadística de la República Dominicana. And we are going pointing to that segment. We are going to be directing our startup to our middle class. We're going to be committing to the best causes, and they concern about obtaining ecological products. We're talking about we're going to be friendly, environmentally friendly, and with a social background that justifies their survival. So we're going to be given a job besides the acquiring the seeds. We're going to be doing the process to extract the oils. The main problem we're going to be taking in this proposal is that we want to solve some lack of employment. Right now we have an anomaly amount of women that are not having jobs, and either directly concentrating to them. And we're going to be doing an introduction to an organic product because we're going to be using seeds. These oils are completely usable for to eat, so are edible. And we're going to be also providing a natural product without preservatives and with high value, nutritional value that will be used in food, and also as additional we'll be using cosmetics products. And we're going to be doing resources. The beneficiaries will be obtaining resources to subsist and to continue investing in the expansion of the social enterprises. And we're going to be taking all this process to connect with people using social media. We're going to be using advertising spots that will be showing the benefits of the products we're going to be using, taking the extraction, this oils. We're going to be pointing to middle class.
Okay, thank you guys. Unfortunately, time's up. Now we have 4 minutes. This is the last group, so we have 4 minutes for the Q&A. So you can feel free to start. Who wants to go first?
Well, basically, as we are getting in touch with the different supermarkets or places that are going to be discharging the foods that are not sellable, we're going to be getting in touch with them. So we're going to be doing connecting with them. Like they're going to give us something that they usually discharge, and we're going to be doing distractions. And it's not a highest cost. It's basically we're going to be using at least 5. It's not going to be a huge amount. It's going to be accessible. We don't have the exact financials, but at the moment we have tests with some seeds, and we have to do extractions, and people are getting involved with the process, showing or sharing their seeds to us, and we have tested them, and they have amazing results because they use it to eat or they use it to have products. So it's not going to be using a lot money, because we're going to be teaching something to people using something that people is discharging. When you use an avocado seeds, you throw it away. You don't know that have all these vitamins that you can use and provide to people.
Thank you so much. Now that we finished with the first pitching, the judges are going to follow Mr. Justin for deliberation, and you, the rest of you guys, the participants, you stay in here. Okay? Thank you.